Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing another download tutorial, and this time it's on private practice. I know this mod can be a little confusing to download and getting everything set up correctly. So today we're going to go through everything on how to download the mod and setting it up to work properly in your game, because once this is all done correctly, it should work in your game and bring that extra realism into your Sims 4 gameplay. So let's get into today's mod download tutorial. So we are on the Sim Realist private practice page, and this is basically the summary of how the mod works. Now I did make a review on this mod a while back. I'll make sure to link it in the description or at the end of the video so you guys can check that out if you want an actual in-depth, mod review on it. Today is just the download tutorial, but I want to get to the part where it tells you what is required within this mod, because there are a few things that you need to take in consideration with this mod. Now it is currently updated for the new patch that came out. So on 1.16 we got a patch because we had the kits that dropped yesterday. Basically, here are some things that are conflict / issues or notable items observed. The first thing that I want to mention is private practice does not work on Little Miss Sam's more viable venue medical clinics. So it's not going to work if you have that mod. Sometimes you can take out certain files and it'll, not conflict with the mod, but I don't really use the more viable venues in my game anymore by Little Miss Sam's. So I don't know exactly how to set that up if you do have it in there, but these are basically all of the stuff that is, they're aware of and that conflicts with the mod. So just keep that in mind. And I don't think there's actually anything that's required for this mod. Like, I don't think you need, I would just honestly keep XML injector in your game no matter what, just because I feel like every mod needs that. But as far as I'm concerned, you can download this mod as is with the required things that you'll need. So if you look down here, we have a tray folder files, which I'll also go over so you guys are not confused with downloading that. And then we also have the actual mod itself. So we're going to go ahead and hit download. You can hit no thanks, just take me to the downloads, and it will bring you to the actual page to download. This is the two that I'm going to be downloading. This is also a Portuguese version. So if you play in Portuguese in your game, make sure you download this version and not this one. So I'm going to click download on both of those things. This window will pop up, but just exit out of it and then hit download for the private practice. So now that we have those two downloaded, I am going to go in with my Bree zip extractor, and I'll link that in the description so that you guys can check that out. You can use WinRAR, whatever extractor, you just need an unarchiver for those zip files. And then we're going to exit out of this and go into our download page. Okay, so before I go over how to install these two things, I want to point out that there are some things that you'll need to do when downloading a mod just to kind of clear out your game. And these are some files that you need to make sure you delete every now and then. And it is these files right here. So it's your cache, and then your online thumbnail cache, and then your local thumb cache. These absolutely are not going to break your game. So just go ahead and delete those and then go into your mod folder. It's important to do that every now and then. You don't need to do it every time you get in a game, but it's very important to do that when updating and also downloading new mods, that you just kind of, clear out those files. It helps kind of keep the game running, because if you keep it in for a little too long, it might start lagging. But the first thing that we're going to do is download the private practice. Your tray folder files will not go in your mod folder. They'll go into the tray file, which we'll go over. But right now we're going to download this mod. So you'll just double click it. And then if you're using BreeZip, this is what will pop up. And then you just hit the extract button and just extract that. It will pull up in the download file, it'll pull up this folder, but we can actually exit out of these two things. And going back to our download, we see this file folders, what you want. So drag that file folder over to your mod folder. And now when you double click on it, it will have all of the packages in here, like the data, the two packages for the actual mod, and then they also have a careers in this mod as well. So then we'll go back to the mod list and then go back to the Sims 4 folder where you have all of your main folders here. And you'll notice that we have a tray file. So we'll hit the tray. So you'll go in here, and this is where you download a lot of those custom builds. So if you have a house that you want to download and you don't know where to download it, you can basically download the tray folder files and put them in here. So we're going to open up this zip file just like we did the last file, and then hit extract. The only difference with this one is that I'm just going to exit out of this and then go into this file folder. There's different ones. Now, for me personally, I don't put the file folder in my tray folder. I just put the blueprints and all the items in there and just move it over. Now, I do already have these downloaded, so I'm just going to hit replace, but I'm not going to go through all of them. But essentially, when you go through all of these, you can download which ones you want in your game. I've got them all in there, and I don't move the file folder over. I just move the files over. So you can do whatever you want. I think they should work with the file folder being in the game, but I just don't like how it looks. So that's why I do it. But anyways, now we'll go into game and see how everything worked. All right, not really sure what's going on with my Sims game because my homepage is just completely gone, but we move on. We're going to go into options, and then from options, go into game options, and we're going to go down to other. If you've watched some of my other tutorials, you probably already know what I'm doing, but make sure you have the enable custom content and mods on. Normally when we get a new pack or a new update, mainly a new update or patch updates, they'll turn this off and they'll actually notify you that the mods are gone. Well, not gone, but just off. But we want to make sure that is on. Script mods allowed, and then hit view custom content. I only have private practice, UI, MC, and XML injector in my folder, but we can see in the custom content, we have the data, careers, private practice is in there. We go down to script mods. We also see that private practice is in the script. That's how we know that it is in there and should be working. And it looks like my homepage has come back to a degree. So we're just going to load in. So I'm just going to load into a game and then walk you through how to set up the actual lot. So I always choose Newcrest for my private practice slots. I don't know. I just like to fill Newcrest up because it kind of looks sad without any properties. But what you can do is go into your gallery. And then if you go into my library, that's where you're going to find your custom content properties. Now you're going to want to click this include custom content because the Sims will not pull it up if you don't have that on. And you can even click on lots to make it a lot easier for you. And as we can see, we have this family health center, the large one, you've got the small one, you've got the Newcrest Health Center and the family health clinic medium. So there's a lot of options for your game as far as, you know, what medical center you want. I normally put the Newcrest one in Newcrest. So we'll go ahead and click on this one, and then we're going to click on place slot and edit. There's a reason, and I think it's a 40 by 30. So I'm just going to place it here, but you can place it wherever you want. Leave it generic. Don't make it residential. What I find, if you don't set it up correctly, sometimes when you leave to go back into your Sims 4 game, it will actually revert back to residential, and then someone's bought the property, and that's why it comes up with no private practices around you. So this is a very crucial step on how to get this lot to work in order for it to work in your game. Get some light up in here. It was so dark. Okay, so this is the actual facility here, but as you can see, it pops up with an incompatible clinic lot type because this is a very important part. It says we have detected that your clinic's lot type is currently set to residential. We don't want that. We want it to be on generic. Now, however, I did click generic, so I'm not really sure why it went back to residential, but that's what I'm talking about. You don't want it to be set on residential because it's not going to work. But if you do come with your sim and it's set on residential, it's not going to work, and the appointment probably won't work either. And she'll also make sure that you have the private practice lot trait on. The other thing I wanted to go over was some of requirements within the actual mod to get it working. So as you can see right here, we have this kiosk here, and at the bottom you can see that it says a check-in kiosk. These kiosks right here are primarily for checking in. There is a separate kiosk over here that is a check-out kiosk. And if you go down to the custom content and you can see all of the wonderful items you get in game, you can see that there's one for checking out and one for checking in. Just make sure that the private practice has both of those because you will need to pay for your appointment at the end of it. This is also a pharmacy kiosk that you can get all the medicines from. You can also access it within your build/buy mode as well. So pretty much all the private practices should come with what is needed with within the mod. But what I like to do after I've set up my private practice is click on these 3 dots and just hit save. And then I will exit out to my manage lot traits, but it might take a minute to save now that that is done. But now that we've done that and saved the game, I normally just go back and hit on manage worlds, and it will take us back to Newcrest, obviously. Now for extra measure, I also save my game in manage worlds and just hit that save button to ensure that it saved the proper lot type and the trait, so we can see that the health center is set to generic and it is on private practice. I'm going to go back to my sim, who we've seen a lot of recently, and have her set up an appointment to see if it did pop up in game. When that is all done, it should be a lot easier to play with the mod. The lot type is just very important to make sure that you've gotten that correctly, because if not, it will not work. We will go to our phone and go to home. You should see this My Health portal, which is the private practice mod. Once we have this, you can schedule an appointment with your Sims. We'll click on Natasha, and then I think we'll just do a health checkup because I don't think she's sick and I'm not gonna have her spend $1,200 to get a sick visit. So we'll just click on health checkup. And then as you can see here, it says Newcrest Health Center Plus, which that means that we did set up the lot correctly, which is good. Sometimes it's a little difficult because Sims just love to buy private practices, but that is why it's very important that you set it up correctly. We'll go ahead and click on this. Our health checkup is scheduled for Friday at 4 p.m. So that is good. We'll hit the check button. We can also cancel our appointments as well. I'll wait for Friday to roll around and then we'll see how to do the whole private practice. Okay, it's almost time for her health appointment, literally like in 1 minute. Here we go. So it says today is your health day. We can either join her, send a loan, and cancel schedule appointment. I find that when you have a big household, sometimes it's easier just to send them a loan because they do it a little quicker. But because we're in a mod video, we'll just hit join. And now that we're in the actual facility, we want to check in. So these little kiosks things, you'll be able to check in. I think we gotta wait for some people because it says please make sure you have your patient sim selected or your caretaker sim. If that's the case, also make sure the appointment event is running, which it is. There we go. Okay, we ran into a slight issue, but we're back. It's Sunday, but we are able to check in now. I think it's because maybe my game was kind of lagging. Maybe it glitched a little bit, but anyways, we are back. We checked in. So it says, I sure hope you need to use the bathroom because we are going to need you to pee in a cup for a urinalysis. So we're basically gonna hit okay. And then we'll go to one of these bathrooms and have her pee in a cup. After that, we'll go and get our blood pressure checked by one of these lovely machines over here. So it's the check blood pressure and weight. So she is done with that, and it says we received all your necessary data to complete a full health analysis. So we'll go ahead and wait with our sim on this exam bed. They'll automatically go to one. As you can see in their interaction panel, they have a sit on exam bed, and we'll just wait for the doctor. And now we can see we've got someone coming in to give us our health results, and it says it is complete. It also gives you like a little health report summary. It also says thanks for coming in. If there are any recommended health notes from the doctor in your results, I suggest you follow them to maintain or increase your health and longevity. The pharmacy kiosk will have any medications needed. So I do want to check her thing. We also need to check out and pay the bill. That's not going to be good if we don't pay it. There's also insurance within this mod that makes it a little cheaper, but it basically says we have a healthy weight, normal blood pressure, and our next checkup is due in 24 days. I do want to check the full report. We do have a full report. If you go to the My Health portal, you can see your health report, and it'll let you know if you had if you were underweight or overweight. It would let you know what you could do to, make it healthier. We have a normal blood pressure. We also have allergies as well. So we're allergic to the mother plant and ragweed. We're not sick. And our next checkup is 24 days. So what we can do, this is where you can check out. And then this is the pharmacy kiosk. So we'll purchase our medicine. And in here, you have all the medicines that come with this mod, depending on what your Sim's health results were. Now, because she's got a certain allergy, we're going to go ahead and buy this Clear Day pill, which is essentially kind of like an allergy medication. So we'll just buy that. And then she'll come over here and check out. Then she'll check out out over here on this little kiosk. If you had insurance, it should be for free, but I didn't give her insurance in this mod. But now it says your payment regarding clinic appointment has been processed. Thank you for coming in today. And we are all done. You can access this practice anytime with your Sims. You don't have to have an appointment. So if you did want to come in here for whatever reason, you can access it anytime using the travel, you know, your travel button. But with that being said, that's pretty much it to downloading the mod and getting it all to work. If you have any questions, let me know. But with that being said, I will end the video here. So that is pretty much it to getting the private practice downloaded and working in your game. Let me know if you have any questions about this mod. I know sometimes mods can be a little bit tricky to download. At some points it feels like it's never going to work, but there is always a solution to mods. You know, sometimes they like to be like The Sims and just give you a hard time. But this is definitely one of my favorite mods in the game because it adds so much realism to your game, and they're always updating it to add in more features within this mod. So I'm always excited to see what new features they have. But as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss another video like this. Let me know of any mods that you would like me to do a download tutorial for and also mod reviews for in the future. But with that being said, I will see you all on Monday and have a great weekend.